You know the feeling when you walk back into your house after a vacation and for about 4 seconds, it's amazing. But then you see the mail pile, the fridge full of mystery leftovers, and you are not going to believe my fridge. A suitcase that has just going to live on the floor for the next week, and then mountains and mountains of laundry. That's where I am right now, end of summer, just back from vacation. My house is in full chaos mode.
So let's have a look in this disastrous fridge. Okay, so we have got, my son has a random bowl of flour in the fridge. There are open things. There are many things that need to be thrown away. I am so embarrassed to show you all of this. We're gonna dive in. Let's fix this fridge.
I'm doing a real reset. I'm going to show you how to do it too. We're going to do the fridge, the freezer, some laundry, some other things, maybe even a closet. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I bring a chaotic house back under control without losing my mind in the process.
Right, so just unpacking the fridge and doing some cleaning. And I'm going to share with you some ideas of what you can do to reset your home, even if you weren't like, it was a super busy summer, but maybe you just want to reset your home in general. So this is what we are doing. Now, summer is about flexibility, and I made a video at the beginning of summer all about that. Fall, or the end of summer even, is just about starting to find our rhythm again. You might even be like me, where you just feel tired at the end of summer, and even if it's really nice out, because our weather is usually great until mid-October, and then it sort of slowly starts to decline into winter. But it's still, you get kind of tired and you just start desiring that routine again. So that is what we are going to do. And it's not about deep cleaning everything, but summer is more of survival mode and just sort of keeping somewhat on top of things. And the reset is when we really get back to feeling better. When we got back from our vacation, I knew I would be tackling the fridge and everything, but immediately I unpacked the suitcase. It was 8 p.m. We had been traveling all day, and I was like, nope, I started unpacking. I started doing the laundry, which you will see because I am not the best that enjoys folding. So we're not deep cleaning every corner. We're focusing on the places that create friction on an ordinary busy Tuesday, your ordinary busy life. We're not trying to erase all of the evidence that we enjoyed summer. We're just sort of closing the open loops so that we can move forward. Now, you may recall I did a video earlier a few months ago about the open loop system. And that is because when we have many things that aren't done, those are tons of open loops. Staying open in our mind where we're just like, oh my gosh, like it's just like the stress. It's so much for your brain to be carrying. So every time we knock something off of our to-do list, like cleaning the fridge or whatever, that is closing that loop, and that is removing that extra stress, which feels so good. So one of the things we're doing, in addition to closing all of the loops, like cleaning the fridge and the laundry and all of the things, is looking at the systems. Now, in my membership and on this channel, I talk about the Mighty Method, which is triage, simplify, organize, and thrive. And triage is where we're just looking and we're saying, like, what needs to be tackled first? Like, where is the chaos? What is bugging me the most? And for me today, it 100% was the fridge. I could not wait. I knew I would film it for you guys because I wanted you to see just how like declined it is. Like, you can even see stuff is like knocked over in the fridge from before. And so knowing that that was my stress point, that was like what the triage showed me. And we can say, like, why did it end up like this? And how do I want it to be? And I will know I want the fridge to have stuff that everything that doesn't belong in there, I want it out of there. I want things somewhat organized. I am a person that has a lot of condiments because I do a lot of cooking. And I love, my special Asian sauces and all of the things. So I'm going to have them all, but I'm trying to organize things. I'm trying to have the pickled things together and everything. So So that is my ideal of how I want it to look. That's part of triage, is just sort of knowing, how do I want it to look? Then we simplify. We take things out. We remove. We don't organize until we have removed. So we remove stuff. We're decluttering. Then we organize. We put things back out as we want. Now with the fridge, I sort of like do them at the same time, partially because I don't want stuff sitting on the counter getting too cold, and I clean as I go. And then Thrive is those systems to keep it clean. One of the things that I do normally with the fridge is, before I go shopping, I look in it, I pull out things. I can tell you right now, there's a box of French fries in my fridge, because this was a few days ago, that I need to pull out and just put in the food waste. And then I think the fridge will be good. So like, that is the system for how to keep things clean. And using the Mighty method not only works for decluttering, which is usually where I use it, but for things like the fridge, other kinds of cleaning, even if it's like the bathrooms or whatever. So the next area that we could tackle would be the entryway. So if you have kids that are getting ready to go back to school, or even just your seasons are going to change in the next few months, fall brings in more shoes, jackets, bags, sports equipment, wet weather gear. Definitely here. It is so rainy here in the winter time. I'm on Vancouver Island, and when I say winter, I mean fall, winter, and spring. But so picture Seattle. If you're like, what kind of weather? That's basically what we have. So I'm not quite at the stage where we need to get rid of the flip-flops and the beach bags and sandals, all of the summer things, but it still is a good opportunity to sort of like do a quick inventory and think, okay, maybe I'll come back to this in October. Also, closets and clothing. When the time comes, you might want to start switching out your clothes. I like to do sort of like a capsule wardrobe when it comes to my fall and winter clothes, and then my summer clothes. So right now it's still summer, so I am still wearing my summer clothes and my warm clothes. However, when you are ready for that reset, you might say, okay, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to declutter my any clothes from the summer that I did not wear. Then you're going to put out your winter and fall clothes, and you can just sort of say, okay, like I actually don't want this. I find that is so helpful. And you can also see if the clothes still fit you, fit your kids, fit your husband, whatever. Kids, they grow over summer. It's just like insane sometimes. Also looking at clothing repairs, buttons, things that need to be dry cleaned before they are urgently required. And if you're anything like me, you try to avoid dry cleaning things. Another thing might be school and work supplies. So if you have kids that are going to high school, other school, college, even like elementary school, you want to make sure you have all of the things. I had a bag actually, and I'm getting rid of it. I'm just going to bring it to the church probably and just say, like, anybody who has kids, fly at these school supplies. Because that's the thing. One of the things I recognized was that we always had so many school supplies at the end of the year, and I was just like, what do I do with these? So I started just throwing them in a bag, and then when it was time, we had the school supply list, I just got it all together, and I was able to hardly buy anything. Even though I loved going to Staples, I would grab a clipboard from their shelves, use it to mark off the things I was getting. Often I would end up just buying the clipboard. And yeah, but towards the end of the kids' school years, we really didn't need to be buying much. And I have a child going into grade 12. My last kid is going into grade 12, and I don't think I need to buy anything. And I am pretty happy about that. Okay, let's do a quick check-in. I do have to get ready to go and pick up my son, which is what I'll be referencing here, but I'll let you know how it's going. Okay, I have 13 minutes. Now, these bottles, I make kombucha, and I just make it from regular kombucha. I think I have a blog post. If I do, I'll link it below on how to do that. It's delicious. This is the raspberry one. And then this year, I started making water kefir, which is good. It's less acidic, kind of easier to make. But because I had a very stressful June and July with some health issues, I kind of let it go. And I actually had to take these outside and let them kind of explode.
And then I put them back in the fridge. So my goal is to make a bit more of these things before the end of summer. I don't really drink them in the winter. And then this was from my grandpa's birthday party, so I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna now put almost everything back after I wash the drawers, and then I will deal with what's out here, hopefully before I have to go and get my son, because then I can go and get to the laundry. So let's get back to it.
As for the fridge and the freezer, I do a wash. As you saw, I got the bucket ready, going through things. And now I'm just washing the drawers and putting them back. And then I am going to go out and then just quickly do a bit in the freezer.
I am back. I am drinking a crispy cherry Coke, and I'm a little chilly, so I'm wearing my sweater. But now I'm gonna just quickly tackle the freezer. It shouldn't be too bad. And then we're gonna do the laundry. Ugh.
Okay, here's a quick preview of the freezer. There was a lot in there. We had done some entertaining, but a lot of it does need to stay. So it was a matter of just getting what did not belong in there out and tidying things up, organizing things. And it looked far better when I was done. And then afterwards, I did have some things that I needed to deal with from the fridge. And before I had set things out, anything that needed to be dealt with, like right now, I am just harvesting everything from the garden. And I had some stuff from the store that I had bought, and it was for making kimchi, which is super duper good for your gut, and it's absolutely delicious. So I just chop up the cabbage and salt it, and then I let it sit for an hour. And I'll tell you for 30 seconds how I make it. You squeeze it and then rinse it, and then just mix a bunch of delicious things in, squeeze it together again a bunch of times. Anybody watching this, especially Koreans, are probably like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And then I just cram it into these jars and let it stay for about 5 days. Every couple days I push it down again, but it is delicious. And two of my kids absolutely love it.
Okay, my darlings, now I do have a laundry problem, not only on the floor, but I still am not caught up. Plus, I've started wearing the clothes that I have not folded. And if you know me, you know I hate folding laundry. But here we go, we're gonna do some laundry folding. I'm also going to take the other laundry, throw it in the washing machine. The laundry space itself is super duper messy right now. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, a happy summer where we had fun is the most important thing.
All right, now let's chat about this laundry a little bit. Now, vacation laundry is obvious, but summer does also create piles of beach towels, swimsuits, sports gear, even stuff just from working in the yard. For me, I have my garden clothes. And yeah, if you're like me, you may get into the thing where you end up just doing a bunch of laundry. And that is what I ended up doing. That's why I have those baskets there. And then I fall into the pattern of wearing clothes outside of the baskets. You'll see I have a laundry loop video coming up. As you remember, I just mentioned the closed loop system, or open loop, closed loop system. So it is great if you can wash a load and then fold it and put it away as soon as you are done. That is the dream. It can be a challenge, especially when you're trying to reset the home and there's so many things going on. And of course, like, you can always catch up on laundry. There's almost never a laundry emergency, so it's okay. I think it's really helpful to return your laundry baskets to where they belong so they can function again for everybody. Really helpful. We actually have pretty much, I think all of our kids are going to be living with us for the next few months, which is a real blessing. If you know, empty nest moms are so excited about that sort of thing. So I'm very excited about that. But we are going to have some rules, some routines about how we can be managing everything. So who does what on what day? When are you washing your sheets, all of the things. So I think that's really helpful.
Everything here goes in the closet, and it's too hot in the closet to open the door. It's a hot closet.
A couple other things you can do would be to reset the bedroom. So you could make sure your nightstands are clear. getting, of course, like the bedding, as I mentioned, towels, all of the things, starting to look at cozy fall routines. I get so excited.
It's
for
mostly
fall.
pajamas.
I start August 1st. I started
Most
doing my
of
fall
my
routine,
clothes
so I
are
have been
pajamas,
enjoying
which is
it for
really
a little while
interesting.
now. But again, easing into things is so nice. Starting, going for walks before it starts getting dark out earlier. Then you can head to the bathrooms, refill anything that needs to be done, throwing out, empty old sunscreen, anything like that. And just looking at the family schedule, starting to put it on the calendar can be really good too.
Okay, so in addition to doing the kitchen and the laundry and everything, there was a massive pile of mail. Actually tackled that off camera, which was good, mostly junk mail. And I'm like, could we maybe not, but whatever. The other thing is, and I saved this for after I did the fridge, and that was the floors. The floors in the summer get so dirty. And part of the routine I came up with was sometimes doing the floors. Well, it's definitely time to do the floors, so I'm going to vacuum and then I will wash the floors. And if you've been watching me lately, you know I have fallen in love with washing the floors by hand, and I got knee pads.
And I think this is just an opportunity to do a little bit of deep cleaning anywhere. For most of summer, I wasn't doing deep like floor cleaning. It was just like a quick mop up or whatever that needed to be done. Like now I'm getting like really around the edges a lot more. And same with windows, getting the windows nice and clean around the frames, which is really nice inside of the house. And looking at getting the garage tidy, just all of the little things bit by bit. There's just something so satisfying. And when you do it at the end of the summer, or if you do it, right after a vacation, use that motivation. It can be so good.
One of the biggest things that makes resetting a home easy is not having too much stuff in it. And that's one of the things I talk about on this channel all of the time, is if we start letting go of the stuff that is holding us back, it makes it so much easier to reset your house. Like I basically just did my fridge, my freezer, some laundry, and the floor, and now my house feels so much better. So I have a video all about that. You can watch that right here, where to start decluttering. And I did not get to the closet, but I think it might be a bit too soon because then I'd start switching jackets around, so I'm happy with that. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like, subscribe, give us a hype, stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.